Okay, so what I wanted to do today is I'm going to teach you how you could cut a like a t-shirt or a bed sheet, any kind of fabric, into one continuous strip to use it into your weaving. But we're going to start by doing it with a scrap piece of paper so that if you make a mistake, you make a mistake on your paper and you don't actually make a mistake on your fabric. If you do make a mistake once you get to your fabric, you can just tie it together or sew it together, but I think it's a little less intimidating if you start with a scrap piece of paper. So this is just a regular scrap computer piece of paper, and we're going to start by folding it in half. So hamburger style, if you think back to elementary school. So the fatter side, so you're going to have your opening up here at the top. Then you're going to go ahead and make one more fold. So the bottom is going to fold up, and you're going to crease that, but you're not taking it all the way to the top. So you're going to have about an inch space here, so where it's not overlapping. Now we're going to start to make our cuts. If you want to be really specific, you can totally get a ruler and measure things out and follow that. I like to just dive right in and do it, especially when I'm just doing it on this scrap paper for practice. So I'm going to grab my scissors and we're going to cut our strips, and you're going to cut, but you're going to not go the whole way through. So you're going to stop right up here before you reach this edge. So I'm going to go ahead and do that so you can watch. Okay, so I'm stopping before I reach the edge, and you're going to do that the whole way down your piece of paper, just making sure you're not cutting through those edges. And if you do, it's not a big deal. You'll just have a smaller practice piece, and all will be fine. Okay, so we're going to cut through that. This can also be a good way if you want to experiment with making paper yarn. So if you want to try and spin paper to get nice long strips of paper to actually spin into yarn, or to even get nice long strips of paper if you actually want to bring those into your weaving. Okay, so now I have all of my strips cut. Okay, I'm actually going to turn this so that my opening, where we can still fold our paper, is in front of me. Okay, and we're going to start at the very first one and just on the top layer. So we're doing one layer at a time. We're going to go ahead and cut through that top layer, and you're going to see, so you have like this loose strip. Okay, then we're going to skip two, so we're going to count one. So this is 1, 2, and then we're going to go ahead and cut through our edge, and you're going to do that the whole way down. So you're going to skip 1, 2, and go ahead and cut. Skip 2, cut the whole way through. Skip 2, cut the whole way through, all the way down your paper. Skip 2, cut the whole way through. Skip 2, cut the whole way through. Okay, so now that we have our top layer cut, we're going to go ahead and go to our bottom layer. Okay, so for our bottom layer, we're going to actually skip the first two. So we're going to count 1, 2, and then we're going to cut. And then we're going to do the same thing. 1, 2, and then we're going to cut the whole way through. So this is allowing us to cut the opposite of what we just did. So count 1, 2, cut the whole way through. 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 Okay, now's where you find out if you did it correctly, and you go ahead and grab your end, and you should find that you have a wonderfully, really, really long strip of paper. Okay, which would be great to go ahead and play with for spinning. All right, so next we're going to do that with a piece of fabric. So you're going to want to grab your fabric, and then I'm going to walk you through that step again.